This is how we took over 100,000 people from $100 in their sports betting bankroll to over $100,000 using the PlayerProps.ai app and strict bankroll management. Now, if you don't believe me, let's just take a look back to one of the many steps along the way to this great financial success story. Check it out. Hey guys, it's me, Travis, with PlayerProps.ai, and this is what we're locking in today as part of our $100 to $100,000 challenge. Quickly to review, yesterday our cover boy hit. We decided to go with 2 batting props, I think for the first time, or maybe the first time ever. I don't know if we've had 2 batting props. You typically do 2 pitchers and sometimes 1 pitcher and 1 batter. But we did a hits, runs, RBI play with Joloff. Somebody in the YouTube comments don't know how to pronounce his name, but Zach. So if you guys have been tracking the last like 2 or 3 weeks, every time we've put a hits, run, RBI prop in a show, it's hit. We're actually undefeated on that prop. And then our second prop was total bases with Isaiah Kiner Falafel, as I like to call him. So if you didn't watch him, he's on the Pittsburgh Pirates. In his third at bat, it was a new pitcher. So the opposing team switched out pitchers. We're like, okay, we got a new pitcher. All he has to do is get a base hit because it was over 0.5 total bases. And the very first pitch, you almost never see this happen in baseball. The very first pitch this new pitcher threw, beamed him. He hit him with the first pitch and made him go to first base, which if you didn't watch the video I already have on this YouTube channel of how to calculate total bases, a hit by pitch is not a total base. He then steals second base, not a total base. He then steals third base, not a total base. So he has a hit by pitch, 2 stolen bases, all in the same inning, and still has 0 total bases. He didn't even get a chance to, in that at-bat, to swing and potentially get a total base because he was beamed on the very first pitch. So he did not hit the total base play, but we still are undefeated in hits, runs, and RBIs. That being said, let's see if there's anything today on the trifecta side for pitchers before we go over to the undefeated category. So let's see here. We do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so on the FanDuel side, there's 4 trifectas. Let me see if there's anything different. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay, so we have 4 trifectas we can play with here for pitchers. They are Mitch Keller, Tanner Gordon, DJ Hers, which we've played before, and Grant Holmes. Okay. So let's look at these guys real quick and see if there's anybody we absolutely are in love with. So Mitch Keller is versing San Diego, which we already know is one of the, over the course of the season, one of the least strikeoutiest teams, as the trademarked label that I've been saying for the last few months, least strikeoutiest. I'm going to quickly check. So they are the least strikeoutiest over the course of the season. They reclaimed the #1 top spot for that. Over the course of the last 3 games, they're number 3. And over the course of their most recent game, they're number 4. He needs only 4 strikeouts to hit, and he's projected to get 5.3. So he's got this. So he's gotten 6, 4, 5, and he's hooked these 2 games here. And if you don't remember what hooked means, it means that 0.5. If that 0.5 was removed, he would have pushed. So he got 3 and 3 instead of getting 3.5, which are why these are red. But he's got all of these hits here. He only needs 3.5. But we're going to go down to 1 more. The next one is Tanner Gordon. Arizona is also a low strikeout team. They're number 7 on least strikeoutist over the course of the season. Looks like they're about 7 over the last 3, and roughly about 6 over the most recent game played. He's only started, looks like, what, 5 games this season? Yeah, so he only has 5 starts in the season that date back to July 7th. It looks like they So there's a 15-day break between these two starts, between the second and third start, and then looks like he's been put back into the rotation here. Where since he's been put back into the standard rotation, he's covered this in all 3 of his last starts. And again, he just needs 4. He's projected to get 4.6. But a lot less information. DJ Hers is somebody we have played before, and I believe the only time we've played him, he's hit. His head is so big, it doesn't even fit in the gosh dang box. He's got a... I'm assuming if he wasn't wearing the hat, he's probably got like a Peyton Manning forehead. That's what this... he probably doesn't, but that's what this makes it seem, because his head doesn't fit in the gosh dang box. 4.5, so he's got a higher line, but he also has a higher projection at 5.73, and I think he has the highest implied chance of going over than any of the other pitchers. The problem is, in his last 5 games, he's hooked 3 times in his last 5. He's versing Baltimore, who 11 on the season on least strikeoutness, but they're near the bottom half over the last 3 games. And if so, I've had a lot of people in the Discord say like, "Hey, when you're saying this information on least strikeoutiest and most strikeoutiest, people are asking where can I find that data." We're actually building it into version 2.0 of the app, and we're trying to get this version 2.0 done by week 1 of NFL. So just hang tight. Everything's gonna be out there where you can pull up these kind of metrics. Okay, let me see. San Francisco, Baltimore. I mean, I know so the DJ Hers is a guy that has strikeout stuff, as I like to call it, because you have to have strikeout stuff to get double-digit strikeouts. Against Miami in June, he had 13, and then early July, he had 10 against the Mets. And getting double-digit strikeouts in MLB is not an easy feat. And then we have... Oh, Grant Holmes is not... I don't know if this just updated or not. But his odds... This isn't a true trifecta play, because it's minus 106. And I told you it has to be minus 110 or higher. So when you click on under here, you see that it's more favored that he's going to go under 5.5. Grant Holmes has 8 strikeouts in 2 of his last 3 starts. But not a true trifecta play, so we don't need to force that. And there's nobody else below him, right? Nope. Okay, so the ones that are in play: Mitch Keller, Tanner Gordon, and DJ Hers. I personally am not as familiar with Tanner Gordon, but again, he's only started 5 games this season, so that's probably why. Mitch Keller's versing essentially the least strikeoutiest team over the course of the season. But out of all 3 of those, Mitch Keller has the highest implied chance to go over. And he's gone over 83% of his starts over the season. So even though he's versing San Diego, getting 4 is not impossible. San Diego, over the course of the season, averages 6.67 strikeouts. And over the last 3, they average 6.33. So I feel like if he pitches at least 6 or 7 innings, he should be able to get 4. If they average 6.5. I don't like that DJ Hurst hasn't done well in his last 5 games. So we might just go with Tanner Gordon here, because even though he's pitched only 5 starts this season, 80% has been over 3.5. He does have an easier line to hit at 3.5. So we have 80%, last 10, so 80, 80, 80. So less games to pull data from, but he's only missed this against the Mets. And it was a hook. Let me peep our undefeated stat real quick. I don't want to force it in there and jinx it, but let me see what we got over here. Ramon Laureano. And his yesterday he had four in terms of, well, I think he actually had a home run, I think. So point 0.5. He's had, so for this stat, what we look for is that they don't have at least like 4 games in a row where they didn't hit. And it looks like the most he's had in a row where he didn't hit is 2 over the course of the last 20 games. He's got a 64% implied chance, 1.85. I don't know. I don't want to do 3 plays because every single time we do 3 plays, it never works out for us. So maybe we don't go with the Colorado pitcher that we're not too familiar with. We don't force a pitcher we don't know because there's actually a strategy behind that. For me anyway, if I don't recognize the name of the pitcher, or if I don't know much about them, or in this case he's got limited only 5 starts this season, then we don't want to force it. So maybe we'll go with Mitch Keller and then Ramon Laureano to continue our undefeated hits, runs, RBIs. And I know that I'm saying undefeated on this show today is going to jinx this, and I hate the fact that that's actually a thing. I'm very superstitious when it comes to things like that, but I think I'm gonna go with it. He's hit this 55% over the course of the season, 100% against the starting pitcher today. So BVP 100% for us means every single game that he's played against this pitcher, he's gotten at least 1 hit or run or RBI in every game this pitcher started. And then again, he has that 64.29% implied chance. So yeah, let's do that. We're going to go Ramon Laureano, hits, runs, RBI, and then Mitch Keller over 3.5 strikeouts. Yes, I have made my decision. That is what we're going with. So if you're new here, make sure you do the bare minimum. Download the free app, free PlayerProps.ai app. You can just by either typing in your browser PlayerProps.ai/app, app, or just simply searching PlayerProps.ai in your app store. Make sure you get in the Discord. These are things you have to do if you're taking betting seriously. If you're not taking betting seriously, this isn't the community for you. This isn't the app for you. If you're going to take betting seriously and you actually want to do what needs to be done to be a profitable bettor, you got to do the free stuff first. Free PlayerProps.ai app, free PlayerProps.ai Discord. Subscribe to the free PlayerProps.ai YouTube channel that you're watching this on, and then go ahead and sync your Discord to your PlayerProps.ai account to open up all the free channels. It feels like a 2-0 kind of day, so let's go ahead and lock those in, and then we will see you guys tomorrow. Good luck.